Show Mas Andawana, we are back another installment of the Yellow Corner as we bring you yet another preview of Mamelodi Sundowns. And this time we bring you preview the Tshwane Derby as we host our neighbors Supersport United in the DStv Premier League game week 18 on Tuesday, half seven. Federaps,
Hola, hola, eso.
okay.
Jimnato, wena.
I know I'm okay, man. I'm okay. No complaints, man. Let's touch on our previous game against Chiba United. Your thoughts on the game?
I'm happy that we got the 3 points and we managed to keep the clean sheet. I think that's what it is important. But I feel like Chiba United, I think they showed up on that night. I think they deserved a goal, man. With the chances that they got, man, and a couple of saves that Honran made, and also their decisions on the final third, man. I believe that Chiba on that night, I think they surprised me and they played quite well. But I'm happy with our performances. As much as it was not up to the standard that we know, but I'm happy that as much as we managed to keep the clean sheet and score 2 goals. I think I'm fine with that.
You being surprised by Chipa's performance tells me, Hore, you didn't watch my preview. So when I shoot Kili one, you clearly don't watch the preview. You only watch the preview when you shoot with me. Ne? Noted. Yeah, man. I think in the first half, we gave away the ball cheaply, man, on quite numerous occasions, But overall, I think it was a good performance, and yeah, cheaper. We gave away the chance to cheaper to be honest, But that doesn't mean they didn't work for them because for us to give away those chances means they did the right things when they needed to. So yeah, but we dominated the game, man. We played well and we didn't rush things, man. We didn't need to rush things. And Coach Hulan in the post-match press conference mentioned, or at this stage of the season, you won't go crazy on these games, go all out attack, run and run and run and stuff like that, So, yeah, man, good performance, man. Like I said, we're hosting our neighbor Supersport United, man. Perhaps, do you think Supersport will ever go back to that club that challenges for the league, wins the league, wins the cup, almost every season? Because I don't think so, man. I think uh, they expect Gavin to work miracles, man. I don't think he's supported 100% when it comes to the transfers, getting him, coaches always different categories that the players. You say, no, my category A list banana. If you can't get me these guys, these are the second best or then the third best. So I think they're not getting him the players that he wants for his style of play. They actually losing more quality than bring on more quality. So I don't think they'll go back to that side that every season Supersport will definitely win a cup. I'm not saying they will never ever win cups again, but I don't think they will win them as frequently as they used to in the past. Your thoughts?
I think one thing about Gavin, I think he'll voice out his frustrations. I
Mm.
think Stan Matthews Ben, I think he should know that with a type of coach, originally Gavin, you got the right coach, but you need the right players for him in order to win and deliver trophies. You can't just bring a coach, but you don't bring a decent players that will help him and the team to be able to lift the trophies. But I think Super Sport. I think they are declining a little bit, man. I think the Super Sport that we know will reach the semi-finals, the finals, and win here and there. And previously, in a season, they will reach or win at least one trophy. But recently, they've been struggling. So I hope maybe next season they will beef up their squad. And also, you spoke about the type of players that they lose and the type of players that they bring into the team. I think the gap or the difference is too huge, man. You can't lose players like Bombule, Tebo, and you don't try to go out to the market and replace those players. And obviously, you can't find the perfect replace Tebo, but you can get someone who could give you something on the pitch. So I think Supersport in the transfer market, I think they need to do that. And look at the players that they have, Hopla and Line. They approach, I think they are mid 30s. So couple of seasons, le bona tlabe ba le siyo Supersport. So you ask yourself, if you lose a guy like Hopla in the next 2 or 3 seasons, who are you going to get that will give you the numbers that Hobla has been giving a Supersport throughout his career, man?
Yeah, no, true, eh? True, man. Let's touch on this player, this magnificent player, man, in Mareman. Why do you think he failed? I think I'm being harsh by saying he failed. Why do you think he didn't make it at Sundowns and wasn't a success at Sundowns? Because this guy is absolutely brilliant, man. And I think for now he's the best player at Supersport, to be honest, man. Why do you think it didn't work out for him at Sundowns and it's working out so well for him at Supersport? Because from my point of view, I think maybe it goes back to Taba Ele or some players, man, they need to be the main guys at a team for them to perform well. So when he's surrounded by a galaxy of stars, it's difficult. You know, self confidence, self doubt comes into play. You know, you start questioning yourself: Am I good enough to be here? You know, whereas when in a team where you know. I'm the first name or the team relies on me for the team to do well. I have to do well, you know. So I think it's one of those, man, because you can't take that boy can play. That boy is a damn good football player, man. Well, now what do you think?
Yeah, and I think at Ajax Cape Town, I think he did very well. He was young, and we managed to sign him, but I think he didn't get enough time, and I think and also the squad that we had at that time, it was difficult for him to make it into the squad. The competition was very high, man. He was competing with good players, but one thing that I liked about him, he didn't stay and asingena. We just when the move for Supersport came, he just went to Supersport and look at now go to Supersport or dlala jwang. And I believe that he was one of the players that deserved to go to the AFCON, man. In the past 2 seasons, he has been playing very, very well, man.
Yeah, no, great player, man. I hope he doesn't have a good game on Tuesday, and then going forward he can play his best football, man. Rabs, unfortunately, we suffered yet another injury, a big one in a big player, man. I'm talking about Lucas Ribeiro, man. Looked like he had a hamstring, man. And but like Coach Milani said, the positive out of this is that we are going into the international week, so he will get time, you know, to work on it. And another thing is that we're playing a lower division team in the next round there, Nedbank, you know. With Lucas being out, we don't know for how long. Ne? Does the prospect of playing the number 10, let's say 3, in our attack excite you? Maybe going Sereno, Zwane, and Lodge.
I think it excites me in terms of going forward, but and I always believe you always need that guy who will score goals for you, man. As much as Lodge, Sereno, and Zwane, they are capable of scoring, but sometimes you find out that you need someone inside the box that will make the defenders work, and sometimes those threatens they like to drop deep and collect the ball and move forward with the ball, and sometimes you have a player missing inside the box that will finish those tap-ins. But I think with the amount of time in terms of coaching, I believe you can get something out of them if they start 3 of them. But man, I think it is going to be a risky because of you look at how we struggled without Shalulile when he was injured, and also Ribeiro when he was unavailable in the mid AFL, man. So I believe we always need that guy. It's either a false number nine or a two-time number nine, because of if Shalulile was absent against, he was not available against Amazon, at least you had Ribeiro to play between the defenders and managed to score a hat trick. So the three number 10s, they are exciting on the paper, but on the pitch, man, it may be a different story.
I'll tell you what I think when I give my lineup, or I tell you what I think we need to do to Supersport. Ne? In the first round, the last that when we played them, go PJ, Hobla played more to the left, ne? And we had Mandela Onyango playing right back, right center back, and he was very crucial in that match because he was touch tight to Hobla. You know, aerially he was there to compete with him. You know, and yesterday when they played Amazon, from kickoff, Hobla moved there to the left, and then they played a long ball to that side. And he spent the majority of the game starting from the left, coming inside to the zone 14 area. And do you think, because I have a feeling more they might do that again, you know, he just won't stay more between the two center backs. Then he will move towards the left and come inside. Because of how Mandela handled him in that match, where he was touch tight, really competed with him. Do you start Mandela in hope that he does that again because Hobla is a threat? Or do you say, no, you're giving Zugo that chance, you want to see what Zugo does? Because for now, I think I will go with Zugo because I want him to get that test, you know, that will prepare him for like Champions League, you know, knockout stages, especially when we play the North African sides where most of the time they have their focal point of attack is someone who's very strong aerially. You know, he wins the ball and he has the flick-ons and stuff like that. So what do you think?
I think I think Zuko, I think, will be the perfect guy to start or try to stop Hoble, because of, man, Mandela hasn't been playing for a while, and you bring him on in this game and against a good striker like Hoble, he might struggle a little bit. So if he played a couple of games before the Tshwane Derby, I think that would make at least sense. But I have to agree with you in terms of Zuko needs to be tested, man. We didn't sign him to play against less competitive side, or to we didn't sign him to play against less threatening players. I think he needs to show up, and he needs to stand up to the challenge and raise up his hand. I believe this is a type of games that I vote for a new signing so that he shows up, he can compete, and also if the task is given to him, he can deliver. So I think as well as much as he doesn't have the height, but he has that a body like Ibrahim Chalala Mudawi. He can't be bullied. Like he's strong, he can protect the ball. So I think he needs to be tested, and I believe against Hobla the test will come, and I hope that he will succeed, man.
I actually think he's decent, quite decent height. He might not be as tall as someone like me. I think he's fairly tall, you know. Let's talk about what we can expect from these teams. I will start going to Supersport. I think Supersport, the style is the clearest in the PSL. It's all about one thing, maximizing width. And I think Grant Mareman is very crucial in all this. He's very crucial in terms of if he's central in the build-up phase, he's the one who will move, spray the passes to the side, and then eventually get someone on the wing crossing the ball into the box. Or he would be the one who will cross the ball, you know. More so, Kamo writing because he loves to drift towards more 18 come to the right so that he finds room to cross the ball. And I think Gavin's instructions to Shandri Campbell are very simple. Cross it as quickly as possible. Do not give the defense a chance to set up properly, and sort themselves out. I've watched two games that Supersport in the past where I was just watching because it's a game that's on TV, not watching to analyze. And in those two games, man, there was instances where Chandre got the ball Abai Kwala Shapa style instead of crossing. I think Kobla was the only one in the box. And Gavin lost it, absolutely lost it. And then in another one, I think they were playing still Iziko PJ. Something like similar to that happened again, and you could hear the F words coming from Gavin on the bench. So I think the instructions to the boy are simple. Cross the ball and it will find the man. You don't have to look and then find your man. The ball will find the man. And in the game that we played against Bona in the first round, Supersport, he came on as a sub. He didn't play on the left. He played on the right, and most of the time he didn't speaking more wide spacing. He came in between the lines against Amazon in their last game. He played exactly like that. Played on the right, coming in between the lines. Something tells me, Hore, what Gavin is going to try to do what he did in the first round, because one, he had Hobla coming, Gamo left in, coming inside, and then they played the long balls looking for the few goals for him. So I think he's gonna go with the same in tournament. I think they desperately need Ndlovu and Kgape Moralo back for this game, man. I think without them, they overly reliant on Grant. He has to do the defensive work. He has to be involved in the build-up phase. He has to be involved in progressing the ball into the final third. He has to be there in the final third to play the last into a pass, across the ball, So I think it becomes way too much. I don't think Nange is the player that he was when he was at Leopards, man. I think he's past it now, Nange, So I had both Kgape and Tole Lindgrove didn't start were not in the squad for the last match. I think they could have been suspended. So I think they're gonna need them for this game. And I think obviously the threat, Lion like him, man. I don't have to say anything about Lion like him. Everyone knows what Lion will bring into this game, man. Your thoughts?
I think the disappointing thing about Supersport this season, I think there's been their defense, man. And a coach like Gavin would always say the defense will win you the league title, but the amount of goals they've conceded and the type of goals they've conceded, man, the numbers are not looking good, and the type of goals that they've conceded, those are goals that can be avoided, man. And I think it goes down to the chopping and changing of their spine, man. In defense, sometimes it is Okon and Tulu, sometimes it is Okon and Sajra. So I think that affects the partnership at the back in terms of the center back and the goalkeeper. Hence, the chemistry sometimes is not there, as well as the middle field. Sometimes Mahaman plays with Nange, and Nange doesn't show up, and sometimes he plays with Moralo or on Groove. So I think if they need to sort out their issues on the spine, I think they will bounce back and get a positive result. And another part is that they need to manage the spaces in between their lines. I think the space between their center forward and the middle field, it is too huge, and there's also the space between the middle field and the defense. It is too huge, man. If the center forwards are applying pressure on the defense of the opponents, I believe the midfielders need to sprint and minimize that gap, because of if the opponents, when they build up, they manage to get behind the center forwards, and the midfield of Supersport doesn't sprint to apply that pressure, I think it gives the attacking team an advantage. So I believe they need to manage that gap very well. And we spoke about the crosses, man, taking the width and delivering the crosses inside the box. And one thing I've witnessed is that when the ball is on the right, the winger on the left gets inside the box, and when the ball is on the right, the winger on the opposite side gets inside the box. So hence their wingers they managed to get goals. The likes of Lyle and also Campbell there on the score sheet because of they also get inside the box when the ball is on the opposite side. So I think that's what they will try to do in this game as well. And against our game against Chipper United, there are moments where Chipper United applied pressure and tried to force us to make mistakes. And in some moments, they nearly got something out of that. And I believe Supersport, I think they will try to do that. I think the likes of Hobler and Moralo, if they start, I think they will try to get closer to our center backs and try to force them to make mistakes or to make those back passes. Because of if you retreat against Sundowns, you give them time and space to think and punish you. So I think Supersport will try to they are attacking players. They will try to get closer to our defense so that our defense don't have space and time to build up from the back, man.
So, what do we need to do to win this game?
I feel for us, we should be able to sense pressure. I believe if we Supersport apply pressure in terms of pressing, we should be able to clear balls or keep it safe in terms of trying to go back to Ronwen because of Ronwen gives us an advantage because of his ability in terms of passes and finding players. And if they apply that aggressive pressure, I believe going back to passing the ball back to Ronwen will invite or will force one of the super sport player to go there, and it will give us a numerical advantage in terms of the numbers when we have to go forward. And I believe if they in this game they played with two number nine, which is Hobla and Igada, I believe they were going to cause more.
Is not gonna play. He's on loan, remember?
Yeah, I was just saying if
Maybe
it was
maybe
yeah, if it
Zuka.
was if they play two strikers, that means their two number nines will target our two opponents, our two center backs. I mean, and that will mean that there will be no cover because of Zuka Manjalis will target Zungu or Kekana. Then Hobla will target Libusa. So that means it will be 2v2. And I believe in situations like that, they will obviously get something. And for Sundowns, I believe it is important for us to avoid unnecessary fouls. Their best chances might come from the set piece and crosses. And I believe our fullbacks, they need to get not tight but closer to the wingers of Supersport and try to prevent those crosses from going in. As well as in the middle field, if they play midfield too, I believe we should have enough numbers and outnumber them and overload the middle field. And in the first round of the league, I think we won the game in the middle field because of we had good numbers on the middle field. And this is the game that Ribeiro was dropping too deep closer to our middle field, and he was using that space very well, and he was able to turn and face the defense of Supersport. So I believe that we need to use those gaps quite well. And also, one thing I've witnessed about Supersport is that long ball from their defense to Hobla, and Hobla trying to flick the ball behind between the goalkeeper and our center backs. I believe that whenever one challenge or goes high with Hobla to compete for the ball, we should have a defender going a little bit back. When Hobla managed to flick the ball, at least we have a defender that is able to get to the ball first, and we defend from those situations, man.
Yeah, no, you've said almost everything that I was gonna say as well, man. I've been really surprised at how poor Supersport have been defensively, man. Because because of past experiences of how good they were defensively. Kabo Ricardo Katza, Pochenpool, Bongani Kumalo, Morgan Gold. Every time I in my mind, every time I go to Super Sport, I'm thinking And this is not the super sport that I know, So I mean, in the first round, we created chance after chance, man. Chance, and we should have scored more than five in that game. So I think we need to be aggressive in attack, like we were. A movement of the ball, is key. You mentioned how deep into Ribeiro would come, in between the 18 and the center, just to drag one of the defenders someone out of possession. And this is why I asked you about playing the 10 it's 8 I want that type of movement, that will make it easy for super sport. Because ikhona kana ke mang uthi esang hlatshwayo ne bo Tyson ne they enjoy playing against a striker that is in front of him, someone that he can follow anywhere, someone that he can be tied with, with a 10 like Tshwane, like Sereno, like he wouldn't know how to cope with someone like that. So in this particular game, I would start a front player, the 10 is 8. That's just me. But like, yeah, you've said everything. Your lineup?
I'll start Williams, Dunyela. I'll bench Zunga. I'll start Kekano, Filibusa as my centre backs, as well as Lungu as my LB. Then midfield three, I'll have Mukwena, Alende, and Mbule. Then my front three, Tshwane, Sereno, and Shalulile.
Okay, it's almost similar lineups. I have Williams, I have Mdunyelo, I have Kekana, I have Libus, I have Lungu, I have Mukwena, Alende, Mabue, Sereno, Lord Shiller's one. Score prediction?
I think we'll win. I think 2-1. I think we will concede, but I think we'll win 2-1.
I am gonna go for 2-0. And yeah, that's it, my Sandawana football lovers. Thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe, like, and comment, and share the way. Tell everyone about the Yellow Corner YouTube channel, Sundowns supporters, previewing all Mamelodi Sundowns football club matches. The next time you will see us will be on Thursday as we bring you our last 16 Nedbank Cup preview as we host Maritzburg United. Rabs, why would you Gauteng and you didn't come to my place?
And when I have too many homes to visit in Gauteng.
Shap, Rabs.
Sharp, sharp, as a sharp, sharp, Sandawana.